All right, so here's the thing, guys.
Gang?
We had a really big class tonight, and we got a lot accomplished. We're going to have to start breaking down into
like 19.
subgroups. And I would like
Andre
to volunteer.
to be the lead sub.
No, I'd like Andre to volunteer because we're getting to the point where we're going to be doing some body work. We've got a fender that's good to go. It needs some filler and then it needs to be primed. But if you could lead that, that would be pretty awesome, just because we're at that point where we've taken it down as far as we're going to take it. Needs a little filler over the repair, and then there's another, you'll look at it and you'll go, okay, these are the things that we need to do. And we can start that process next week. Where is Peter?
Peter!
Where are we in money?
I think
Ballpark, are we around
like
300?
maybe 400 as of tonight.
Okay.
Above.
All right, so well, the thing is that we need to start buying some engine parts and send the block off and the crank off to be redone. But I need pistons first, so I want to be able to buy pistons. So that's next on the list. And we can actually start getting back into the engine building. The other thing that we need to do is the front suspension on this needs to be redone as well. So I have to buy some suspension bits. What I'll do is I'll prepare a bill of materials. I will send it to you. And we can get working on that because the front subframe can be wire brushed and painted. So we can have a crew doing that. And we can have a crew working on the front suspension. We're going to have to, the car is going to have to be stationary while we work on that because we got to take the front suspension apart. But now's the time to do it because it's all clean and ready to go. I'm thinking. We're still primarily on body work, but if I can get those parts, we can start doing mechanical as well, which would be nice to get the engine button back up and we can revisit the transmission. It's been a while. We'll have to clean the insides out before we put it back together, but we can do that as well. Is everybody still enjoying themselves?
Yeah.
Very much so. Yes.
Any suggestions, comments, concerns?
What are we going to do for primer?
You had a suggestion.
Yeah, I did have a suggestion.
How much is it?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, we need to know.
Okay. Well,
And what-
he gave me two or three options, but I think their house brand will do for what we need because it's also direct to metal, which is good for what we have.
Right. And
So
but
we don't need self-etching and we don't need epoxy and
oh, really?
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
That
and
is,
it's
yeah,
cheaper
because
that
I
way.
was expecting, because their epoxy primer apparently comes with a glass stick. When he told me the price, I'm like, what? It was like $700. I go, it's
For how much? A gallon?
a gallon.
Yeah, but we don't need a gallon of primer.
Yeah, but they only sell it as a gallon. Exactly. So
God.
when he said when he said their house brand, whoever makes it for them, is direct to metal, I said, okay, that works because that'll take care of.
Ballpark it. What is that?
I think it's
$300 for a
for
gallon?
a kit, yeah.
Oh, for the entire kit? Is it? Well, there's hardener in there
There's
too.
hardener and there's other stuff to it, and that should give us. I think it's 3-1 or 4-1, so that should give us at least a gallon and a half of sprayable, if not a little more, depending on. I think it's a 3-parter.
Is it sandable primer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would tell him no.
All right. Yeah, that's good.
It's
That's
useless.
good.
And it's actually, he said it's actually a decent build too.
Can we lay filler on top of the primer, or does it all have to be underneath?
I believe he said you can layer it, but I
Okay.
would double check.
Yeah, just double check on that because we're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know that. It's okay, and it's okay to make it. This is not. It'll actually turn out nice. It just means that it requires more effort to get the job done, more labor, more time. But we have labor. This
Yeah, we've
is
got
great.
people.
This is great. We got all the labor in the world, so we can do this. We can make this happen. We have one quarter panel that looks like the Sierra Nevadas. We got to figure out what the hell we're going to do with that. I think I'll be able to heat it up and straighten it out for the most part.
Or we could just make the other side match.
Is that the back?
Could do that.
Stainless. The right rear, Peter, is really wavy.
It even says here Nevada's right on it now.
Yeah.
That's covered by an aluminum trim plate. Huh?
Yeah, we don't care, then it's covered.
How much of it
How-
is covered? Most of it.
Most of the damaged area is covered, which is why they just painted over it before. I don't want to do
Allie's
that.
got the book.
Still need to make it. It needs to be decent.
I just find it hysterical how they've talked about it in here.
Oh yeah, they replaced what we did.
Like they show you in this manual.
Was any defects.
Right.
They're like, damaged area, ready for cutting. That's exactly.
Oh yeah, did you see that, Chuck?
No.
It's almost
Yeah.
The damaged area is what we replaced in their book.
They're like, oh, this is what's going to fail on you.
Yeah, this is gonna be. Some old lady's gonna f this up.
Yep. Yep. That's amazing. That's in there.
I
You
know.
found that?
What?
Allie bought the book.
I bought the book for when the car gets given away. So we have the good copy. This is going to be the dirty shop copy because
Oh,
it's
okay.
in your dirty shop.
Well,
Hey, we're code dirty shop people.
Yeah, yeah.
We go roll around in filth. Not together.
hey, you
that's
know,
weird.
well, I'm not quite X-rated, but yeah,
Sometimes.
I'm a little dirty. Anyway,
Yeah, Andre's
Andre, on
explicit.
the other hand. So, any other suggestions? Do we need some? We need to know what we need for paint supplies because we're getting close. I'm tempted to throw a fender in the back of your truck.
Okay. We're gonna be doing block sanding.
Okay. Well, can you get Peter a bill of materials? What do you want? And
Well, I mean, if we could get a regular piece of wood, we can make our own blocks, because we're gonna need longer blocks for this car versus the short blocks that you can buy that they're overpriced, and we just need to get the roll sandpaper, which I can get pricing for. And I found online way cheaper than what they charge around here.
that's wonderful.
Way cheaper.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you for that. Everybody, thank Andre.
Thanks, Andre.
Just like third.
That's wonderful. So yeah, we're making great progress, guys. I would like to get, where the rainy season, knock on wood, is largely over, except Paul's back and brought back wind, and it did rain a little bit yesterday, so.
Tad bit nipply.
Thanks,
Yes,
Paul.
it was. Thank you, Paul. And if you didn't know, Paul's changing his spark plugs.
Paul broke some stuff. Actually,
So no, you guys are doing great, and you're learning things, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the important thing. Is that we wanted to be able. We got people. What?
I'm learning that I'm very inappropriate.
You're just learning.
You're just
we've
Give
known
me your
this.
phone.
No.
You don't want to know.
That's a moneymaker right there.
I'll tell you what. Anyway, I want to make sure that you get a chance. This is what we're doing to this car is something that is disappearing. People don't know.
Don't take your car to
A club member called me today because his son is looking for a new car. He took a 2004 Volvo to a mechanic back east, and the guy took one look at the brakes and said, "It's too rusty, I'm not working on it." So he's junking a new car. Now, if it was,
What?
I look at that and go, "That's a new car."
Did you tell him you know someone's selling a Ford Ranger?
No,
Damn
it's
it.
Back east. He wants a manual transmission.
It is a manual transmission.
Well, he wants a BMW. Is it a BMW pickup?
So he wants to go.
But my point is that there's ways to salvage that car, and you're learning some of those processes. And, given a little bit of time and some elbow grease, it could be revived, but we live in an age of it's too hard to fix, throw it away. There is nothing that's too hard to fix. there's some stuff that's very difficult to fix, but it's not impossible. And where there's a will, there's a way. And
Impossible, I am possible.
Ooh, Allie, did you get philosophical and shit?
and shit.
And shit. Philosophical and shit.
So yeah, I want you to understand that these are not complex machines, and a little bit of familiarity goes a long way. And a human built them, engineered them, designed them, and then they were put together by drunk guys on the line. And drunk guys on the line can put them together. You can too. Any questions?
Questions? Comments?
So I'm going to
concerns?
get you some pricing on engine parts. You're going to get Peter pricing on paint stuffs.
Peter pricing on paint.
Ooh, say that 10 times fast. And that should do it.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. I really enjoy having you here every Tuesday.
Tuesdays are the best.
I actually do have a question. Is there can we source anything for you? Like help you? Because you have all these cars to work on?
Absolutely. And this is your car, guys. It's not my car.
Because you know what I was just thinking about is Wick gets the Galaxie Gazette, and they always have stuff that's for sale in the back of it.
That, I'll tell you what's really, we need a windshield, which is $400 because I broke it.
Good job, Sherman.
And we need side glass because it's really crappy.
Okay.
Some of it's broken, some of it's discolored. We know we need glass. We have the back glass, but we need everything else. And we need rubber gaskets for everything. Every body gasket that's on the car, and they are listed in there. They show where they are and all that.
It's actually a very good manual.
That is a good manual. That's a good one. That's a real one. Back when they made real ones instead of these little flow charts. Does the car start? No. Call the helpline. That's a manual of these.
Yeah, no.
And get a robot.
I tried to buy a rubber bushing or a nylon shift bushing for that car, and I called up Classic Mercedes and I got a warm body, and I said, "This is what I'm looking for." And I told him
The body might have been warm, but I think the brain wasn't functioning.
the brain was definitely below temperature, and
It's gone bad.
he says, he starts rattling some stuff off, and I said, "No, I need a lower shift bushing." And he says, "A sway bar bushing?" I said, "No, a lower shift bushing for an automatic transmission." And he then sends me, I said, "I don't understand. I'm going to send you a diagram." And he sends me a diagram, and he shows the upper shift bushing. And I send him a note saying, "Look, I found the part number, never mind." And he then comes back and says, "Well, we have the upper shift bushings in stock." Because there wasn't a number on the lower shift bushing, so he would not sell me a lower shift bushing.
Well, he probably couldn't find it, and no one could.
It was right there, but it didn't have a part number next to it, and he didn't have the sense to that this is what you need. So I went and I ordered the bushings, and they showed up. I ordered a spare bushing, showed up, put it on the car, and he's still trying to figure out where the bushing is. So it's really sad. If you know your car, and if you really know your car, and you have access to the part numbers, you really can do some stuff. Now, the interesting thing here is that when these things were built, car manufacturers share parts.
Oh, God, yeah.
Across brands, across models, across years. The bushing that I needed was from 1959 to 1974 for that Mercedes. That's a pretty wide span.
With hundreds and hundreds of thousands of cars using
Right.
the same.
So there's a pretty good chance it's in stock somewhere. Well, they are thin on the ground, but they still exist. And it was a $2 bushing. That car was sidelined for a $2 bushing. But, and the thing is that you could fix it yourself with a pair of pliers and $2. Maybe you don't want to, because Lord knows that who likes crawling underneath the car besides Paul. Paul likes crawling under cars.
Then he should have crawled under and changed the spark plugs, not taken the engine out.
Well, he's also a glutton for punishment.
Well, I'll give you that.
So, But you know, that it's just, I'm just giving you examples of, you know, if you've got a book and you've got, this is how you keep your car on the road. We see all sorts of really disgusting repairs that,
Oh,
because
God.
people don't understand the cars they're working on now. So, you know, a little bit of knowledge, it applies. You know, you can cross-reference parts, you can find stuff that fits, and you can make it work. You know, because I could take an engine out of a Torino and put it in a T-Bird, and you wouldn't know the difference.
About 390s.
Right, right. So,
Should we do a Pomona swap meet visit?
you know, that would be fun.
Field trip.
A Pomona, actually, a field trip would be kind of cool. We
We
could
have a
do,
list of what we need, and if we find some, there's so many vendors there, and they may even have connections. That could be a kind of a fun day.
that would be a fun, I think you're right, I think that would be a
I
fun
think
day.
they were once a month, April.
I think they're once a month. Yeah.
Well, you guys, I don't know, some of you familiar with Mike Frankovich, that's one of his prime things to film. He goes to the Pomona swap meet and films it, so he knows every date.
It's not
And
even-
Pomona's cool to go to, it's just, it's a lot of high-priced cars and some parts, and we just go from there.
It's usually Sunday morning and it's early,
you have to be
early.
like
Yeah.
7 or-
You have to
it's a
get there by
dark
like
run.
6:30.
Well, you don't have to,
Yeah,
It's better.
but the stuff we're looking for, we have a list of what we're looking for. You may find stuff.
yeah,
And those
it's entirely
vendors-
possible, or we can find a supplier for stuff. That's another thing, because there are vendors there that, you know, sell reproduction components.
Oh, you have to list April 16th,
April 16th.
Ooh.
coming up.
Ooh.
It's like a week.
Okay, I'm gonna pitch one other thing to you guys, which is not club related. And I wanna qualify that. And first off, you are sworn to secrecy.
Secrecy.
Secrecy. This
So-
is a secret.
No filming.
This